Welcome to the Movies to Watch Before You Die podcast. My name is Gab, and I'm here with my cousin and co-host.
Dylan.
And today we are discussing a movie that I have nominated as one to watch before you die. I did so with the utmost confidence, although only having seen this film once in the movie theaters in 2011, probably not sober. And that was the Adam Sandler film. I mean, what would you say? It's like a, I don't want to say
Rom-com?
it's a classic, but it's like an Adam Sandler staple, right? Not staple into, oh God, we should have talked about this before we started recording. How do I say that it's like every other fucking Adam Sandler movie you've ever seen?
Well, it's not like every other Adam Sandler movie, but it's like a specific subset of Adam Sandler movies, and I'll get into that more during my opinion, I suppose.
Okay, good. But anyway, it's called Just Go With It. It stars Adam Sandler. It stars Jennifer Aniston. It stars Brooklyn Decker and a couple of kids. And we watched it.
Well said, Gab.
So thank you. So Dylan, why don't you tell the poor people listening at home what this film was about?
What's this all been about? What am I working toward?
You think you know everything about me, don't you?
I dive at your bottom. I bloody well ought to.
This film is about Adam Sandler going on vacation to Hawaii and deciding to make a movie out of it at the same time. Adam Sandler is a plastic surgeon who got his heart broken on the eve of getting married, and now he wears a wedding ring to exploit women who want to fuck an unhappily married man. And he accidentally has his ring on him when he meets a girl he actually likes, and then has to have this whole convoluted explanation as to how his fake marriage is fake crumbling so he can have this real girl that he really wants at the time.
As always, just such a beautiful and tightly wrapped
Thank you.
delivery.
Succinct,
Yeah,
clear, to the point.
Thank you. Yep. Okay. How about IMDb?
Okay, we'll see if they're more succinct, but whatever. On a weekend trip to Hawaii, a plastic surgeon convinces his loyal assistant to pose as his soon-to-be divorced wife in order to cover up a careless lie he told to his much younger girlfriend.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Tagline?
There are two.
Oh, good.
Sometimes a guy's best wingman is a wing woman.
That's so fucking stupid. Okay.
What?
A girl?
Oh my God. A vagina? Sometimes you need a girl to get the girl.
I just don't think that's what this movie is about. Like, I disagree.
I hate both of those so much. I
They're
hate them
bad.
so much.
They're bad. Um, okay, I'm glad we agree on that.
Mhm.
Now, let's talk a little bit about basic plot line. So it's not fucking complicated, people. All right, put down your notepads and your pens. Stop, get the calculator away. Let's just get down to the brass tacks
Put
here.
down that abacus.
Yeah, I understand you're ready to do the long calculations of this plot, but rest assured there are none. Adam Sandler wants to have meaningless sex with women, so he wears a wedding ring, his own wedding ring, by the way, from when he almost got married, and uses this wedding ring to seduce women into having essentially what is pity sex with him because he tells them about how his wife is beating him and she's a drunk and blah 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 blah.
At the same time, the movie doesn't play it as though it's pity sex. Like the women are like oddly attracted to his broken marriage.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I've never understood that. But anyway, he ends up meeting a girl at a party who is, of course, model Brooklyn Decker. She is beautiful. She is young. She is funny. She is not an actress or a model. She's a sixth grade teacher. He pretty much falls head over heels. They have weird sex on the beach. And in the morning, when she goes into his pocket to grab a business card, so she has his phone number so they can see each other again, she finds the wedding ring. And instead of telling her the truth, because the truth is pathetic, he makes up a lie and says that he is getting divorced. And she says, I want to meet her. And so he
Which, what a
brings
strange
in,
request also, but go on.
yeah, it is. But I can understand, like, I want proof, you know what I mean? So he goes to his longtime assistant, played by Jennifer Aniston, and says, you got to do me a favor. You got to pretend to be my ex-wife. And then, oh, what a tangled web we weave. Now, Dylan, this is not an original story. This is based on I believe, a play or a movie. I'm not positive.
Correct.
Called Cactus Flower.
Correct.
Correct about play or movie?
Both. It was a play first, then it was adapted into a movie much earlier.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Okay. I hear it's exactly like what we watched with this. Um,
Really?
so I
Like
mean,
down to
that was
the sheep being given CPR?
yeah, sheep PR. Um,
Oh, I missed that one.
so
Why'd you
anyway,
turn into a
um,
rattlesnake?
so this is a great, case of mistaken identity, um, telling lies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't think we really need to go into a ton more unless we want to do spoilers.
Do we need to?
No.
Why don't we get to our opinions?
Okay.
In this critic's opinion,
That's just like your opinion, man.
Well, I have a right to my opinion, and my opinion is you have no right to your opinion.
All right, Dill, I'm gonna start hot. I'm gonna start hot here. All right.
Oh, you want to start
hadn't
hot?
seen
Because if
this
you don't
movie.
start hot, I'm going to start hot. So you
I'm
start
starting
hot.
hot. I'm starting hot. I hadn't seen this movie since I watched it in theaters in 2011 with my college roommate, Nicole. We went and saw this on 3rd Avenue and 63rd Street at the AMC. And I remember laughing out loud so hard. She wanted to go because she knew Cactus Flower and she loved it. So we went and I laughed so hard. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't laugh that hard this time, but I did laugh.
That was your hot take there?
Yeah.
Gab,
I
I'm going to
didn't
tell you.
think-
I think, okay, little background. I also saw this movie one time in college in a random movie theater in New Haven, Connecticut.
Okay.
And I remember I didn't like it at the time, but I was like, you know what? Let me give it a shot. It's been 13 years since then.
Uh-huh.
And I remember when you
You've
first
grown?
said, just go with it, I was like, oh, is that the Justin Timberlake one? And you're like, no. And I was like, is that the Ashton Kutcher one? Mixing it up with 2 other random romantic comedies, No Strings Attached and Friends with Benefits.
Yep.
And I think it's because I wanted to forget this movie, because having watched it again, Gab, you and I put more effort into our introing of this episode than anyone did into this movie. This movie wasted my time. You wasted my time. I'm a little angry at you, quite frankly. Like,
well,
quite frankly,
I watched it too.
Felt longer than Oppenheimer. This movie felt longer than Gone with the fucking Wind. I watched this movie and I paused it going, well, I gotta be halfway through this fucking thing. I was 20 minutes in. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Okay, so here's the thing. I hear you.
I award this
And
movie no points, and may God have mercy on your soul, Gab. I couldn't even do the thing where I subtly try and compliment this movie because I
know
almost nothing good to say.
I know. I watched it too, okay? And when it ended, I was like, oh boy, this was a miss. Here, let's go through the reasons why this is a miss though, okay? Number one, it's not funny.
No, it's not. I think I smiled 3
2.
times.
Jennifer Aniston cannot play the homely, like, oh, I didn't realize she was beautiful until we kissed woman.
I love the movie trying very hard to be like, look at her, she's got glasses. It's like, it's literally a joke from Not Another Teen Movie. Have you ever seen Not Another Teen Movie?
No, but I'm familiar with this
Yeah,
joke.
it's the plot of She's All That. And like, there's a very attractive girl there. They're going, look at her hair's a ponytail and she wears glasses. And it's like, she's obviously attractive. And that's this movie with a straight face does that, where like
Yes.
Brooklyn Decker, who, oh my God, you introduced her as a model? She's not an actress, you mean?
Yeah, she's horrendous.
She has tried her best and it's not very good. She gets through the movie just like, because quite frankly, at least she's not normally an actress. Adam Sandler, who is an actor in addition to being a comedian, does not give a shit about what he's doing in this movie. I'm hot. I'm very hot right now.
You're
But
hot.
Brooklyn
It's
Decker,
okay.
you know, she takes off her clothes to get into the waterfall. And like, obviously, you know, do I enjoy seeing Brooklyn Decker half naked? Sure, she's very attractive. But the movie feels like it's treating me like I'm a goddamn moron by being like, here's 10 seconds of just Brooklyn Decker being hot. Did you like the movie now? And I'm like, no, I didn't. I could have Googled this if this is what I had wanted, quite frankly. But then
I'll tell you what, Dill. Oh, go ahead.
The movie is
No.
like, Jennifer Aniston's going to get in the water now. And like, Adam Sandler and Nick Swartzen have to be like, what, you're going to get undressed? And I'm like, okay, like I get that she's been wearing she was wearing a scarf earlier in the movie, but clearly she's not an unattractive woman. What are we doing here, movie?
Yeah, yeah. I will say this too. Objectively speaking, I'm gonna get heat for this. I always get heat for shit. I don't give a fuck. Um, Brooklyn Decker's body is not nearly as impressive as Jennifer Aniston's. Brooklyn Decker is people are going to get angry, Dylan. Are you ready for this? We're going to get canceled. Brooklyn Decker, her body composition is not at all like Jennifer Aniston's. Jennifer Aniston has muscle. She is extremely lean. Brooklyn Decker is like skinny fat, and I'm not calling her fat at all. She is rail thin, but
Yes.
because she doesn't have any muscle, she's just bone and fat. It's just very little fat. But there's no muscle. Jennifer Aniston looks like she goes to the gym. She's toned. I'm using air quotes.
Nicole
She
Kidman
looks
is
so
in really good shape in this movie too.
Nicole Kidman looks amazing. I'm like, Brooklyn Decker is the least attractive of the three of these
Well,
women.
I'm not
and
going to say
two of
that,
them-
Cap.
I mean,
Cap,
I'm
all three
saying
of
it
these
still.
women look very attractive. Although Nicole Kidman has dead scary eyes to me for some reason. Not that
I
matters.
agree.
But
Yeah.
I thought, quite frankly, I'm looking at behind the scenes footage, and I thought maybe there's got to be some kind of CGI that they're doing to make them look even better. These are women who have they both had to be in their 50s at the time, and there's
Yeah.
behind the scenes footage of them doing the hula scene, and I was like, no, they're just fucking ripped,
Yeah, they work very hard.
which is much more impressive considering they're also both 20 years older than Brooklyn Decker.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, listen, all I do all day for work is look at people's bodies. I know what anatomy looks like. I'm very familiar with what different percentage body fat looks like on different size frames and blah, blah, blah. And Brooklyn Decker is just skinny. And that is purely genetic. Jennifer Aniston worked for that body. And there's no virtue in that, but it's way more impressive. Looking at a 22-year-old Brooklyn Decker and a 50-year-old Jennifer Aniston and seeing Jennifer Aniston have a better physique is fucking bananas.
Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, can we get back to talking about how bad the movie is?
Okay, so there were a few moments that I did genuinely laugh. I'm going to find them somehow.
Okay. While you work on that, I'll start working on moments that genuinely made me upset.
Okay.
The cartoonish evil of the woman on her wedding night in the wedding suite, not even on her wedding night, right before the wedding, talking to her bridesmaids about cheating on her husband, actively doing that. Come on. And Adam Sandler being right there to hear it. The narration at the beginning, which never comes back, is extremely lazy. He's very unlikable the whole time because he's we get a montage of him using broken marriage to sleep with women. Oh my God, he's disgusting. And here's the quote. And so I discovered the power of the wedding ring. The symbol of my humiliation had become a tool to get back on the horse. The ring became my thing. No, disgusting. He leaves a note to a woman saying, Cindy, I had a great night. P.S. Thanks for not beating me like my wife does. What? Besides being fake married is the perfect way to make sure I never get my heart broken again. He's cartoonishly evil. He's as evil as the wife who left him and cheated on him at the beginning was. Oh my God. One of the few jokes I smiled at is him saying, they're at the plastic surgery party, and there's a woman whose face is obviously mangled by plastic surgery, and he refers to her as the lady from Saw. That got a smile.
Yeah, I laughed at that too.
Again, everything just feels like the laziest first attempt. She's a sixth grade teacher. She lives in LA, and she's at a plastic surgeon's party. Do you remember the reason she lives in LA, or the reason she's at the party?
Yeah, she said she lived in LA because her parents got divorced recently and she was tired of choosing sides, so she just left. She was originally from North Carolina.
Yeah, and how does that end up in LA, one of the most expensive places to live in the country?
I don't know.
As a sixth grade teacher. Why was she at the party?
I don't know.
Exactly. The movie doesn't know. And the movie hopes you don't care either. They're like, you're just going to look at Brooklyn Decker anyway.
I mean, it's called Just Go With It, Dill. They're trying to tell you, just go with it.
I know, but the movie literally says that multiple times. And
I know
quite
they do.
frankly, it made me angry each time too.
Wasn't the little girl good though? Talented?
Yes, she tried. I appreciated the little girl and the little boy are both making an effort. And I applaud them for that.
Yeah.
You know who also seems to be making more of an effort than any of the actual actors?
Who?
Dave Matthews. Dave
Oh
Matthews
my
made me
God.
laugh more than anybody else in this movie,
He
quite
was
frankly.
good. He was good.
I have seen Dave Matthews in 2 movies, both Adam Sandler movies, and I think he might be the funniest part of both of them. This and You
Are
Don't Mess
they?
with the Zohan.
Oh, I never saw that. Are they friends?
I guess so. There's he's not an actor. Like there's no other reason. I feel like he was just like, you want to come hang out in Hawaii for a couple weeks? Sure.
Yeah.
We get
Yeah.
numerous product placement thing like this.
We
you
do?
talk- yes. Yes. First of all, we get the montage of the designer stores. We get the montage of the Hawaiian resort. We get a montage of Hawaii, which I feel like is just for tax credits or to market Hawaii as a tourist destination.
I did start thinking we should go to Hawaii.
Everyone should go to Hawaii. Hawaii's great.
Have you been?
No, I'm not going to pay Hawaii prices. Also, I don't even like the beach. I just burn.
You're no fun.
Oh my God. I don't particularly like Jennifer Aniston as an actress, nor do I particularly find her attractive in general. Like, obviously, I can admit that she's objectively attractive.
Wait, I'm
But-
confused. Why don't you like her?
I don't know. I'm not a big Friends fan. I feel like that's a hot take, but doesn't do anything for me. And that's her biggest
Okay.
thing. I like her in Office Space. That's about it.
Okay.
But this movie, I had it written down here. The movie trying to make Aniston ugly, like we don't know that Jennifer Aniston's attractive. And it's like, at least they gave him like a freakishly large prosthetic nose at the beginning. Like,
Yeah.
give me something that she wears, like, she should wear like a fucking back brace and then she like, her back got better midway through the movie. Like, you got to give me something that's like way off.
Yeah.
So they're like, literally, she's got glasses. Her hair's all frumpy. Like,
Not
don't
even. When she's sitting in the salon chair, which by the way that made me laugh with Jordan Peele. No, the other guy,
Keegan-Michael Key.
I'm embarrassed. Keegan-Michael Key. Michael Keegan-Key. I mean, that would make more sense. He's looking at her and he's like, I don't remember what he said, but he was just like, there's nothing I can do with this. She looked great.
Doesn't it feel like everyone just improv'd on the day of? Like they knew what the story of the original movie and the play were, and they were like, just try and be funny around it. Go for
Yeah.
funny. Because there are multiple times in this movie where people are stumbling over their lines. Again, not in a way that feels like the character did. In a way that feels like, well, we got the take. It doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, you stumbled for a second, but you nailed it. You landed it.
I don't think I noticed that
At least I think 3 times that I noticed. I think once is Aniston, once is Decker, once is Sandler.
Huh.
And it just, I just got angrier watching this movie as I could feel myself thinking, but it's not over yet? But it's not over yet? Gab, you complained about the length of the Batman. This was longer than 3, the Batman. Like, oh my
No.
God, I was waiting. If Robert Pattinson had dropped down from the ceiling during a flood in this movie, I'd welcome it and hope the water washed me away.
Well, listen, I thought it was going to be like a breezy little rom-com so we could all just have a chuckle. Okay, I'm sorry. Also, I conflated something because I thought this was the movie where the guy pretending to be the German guy, which I know you're probably upset about, said "Mich lieben Panikakas." What is that from?
I don't know what's that from. I don't know what you're talking about.
There's like a German guy, and he says that's how you say it in that's how you say "I love pancakes" in German.
Okay, well, you work on Googling that, and I'm going to talk about Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler has very good movies and very bad movies. And this movie quickly fades away from like, it wants to be a 51st Dates or a Wedding Singer. And it quickly falls down the slope towards your Jack and Jill, your, I didn't even see it, but Blended, I'm sure, your Grown Ups, your later Sandler movies where he's like, I don't have to try. You'll watch it. Fuck you. Like, Adam Sandler I think he thinks I'm stupid. Because once in a while he
Yeah.
tries and we get a movie like Uncut Gems, which
I haven't seen that. Is it good?
it's really good. It's really good. And it feels horrible the whole time you're watching it because it's very intense.
Oh.
And then you watch a movie like this where I'm not asking this to bring a level of intensity like the Safdie brothers bring to fucking Uncut Gems, but just I want to laugh at a comedy. I did not go into this not wanting to have a good time, Gab.
Yeah.
But quickly the
Yeah.
movie told me I wasn't going to. I just wanted to
I'm
see people
sorry.
try, and they didn't try, Gab. Why
I
didn't they
know.
try?
Well, now that you're saying it, it like kind of makes sense. Like I guess maybe because the woman obviously in the beginning who played his first wife that he ends up not
Adam
marrying is
Sandler's
his
actual
real
wife.
wife.
Hmm.
Right. So I guess maybe they all just went to Hawaii on vacation.
Yep.
And he's friends with Jennifer Aniston, right?
Yep.
So they just hung out.
Yep. And can we talk about the music in this movie too? What is with the music just being weird remixes and mashups of actual songs, you
Oh,
know?
I thought that was kind of cool.
I loathed it, Gav. Loathed it.
Why?
The weird umbrella, like there's a remix of Umbrella for like 30 seconds for no reason at the very end of the montage of designer stores. I think that somebody was really like feeling Sting and the Police at the time because there's like six different Sting songs twice mashed up with other songs and they sound bad and they feel out of place every time.
Hmm.
Yeah, Roxanne mixed with You Should Be Dancing for no reason. The whole scene where they're talking about like pills and IBS and erectile dysfunction feels. Do you know what I'm talking about? The first time Brooklyn
Yes.
Decker meets
Yes.
Jennifer
Jennifer
Aniston,
Aniston.
which we're not even remembering their actual names because the movie doesn't care about their actual names either.
Yeah.
And Sandler and Aniston are making up like, well, he needed to deal with his erectile dysfunction. Well, she had IBS and she took pills, or I think he had the IBS. Doesn't matter. It just feels like they filmed the scene. They knew what had to happen was Brooklyn Decker's character has to meet those two, and they went, be funny. Be funny. Nobody sat down and wrote that shit.
Are you mad at me?
I am furious at society. Quite frankly, I'm so sad that like Netflix might recommend me things based on the fact that I watched that movie.
Well, you can tell Netflix you didn't like it.
I should tell Netflix to burn down its entire collection based on that. It has tainted the rest of it.
Listen, I'm sorry. Listen, I watched it last night with Corey. We chuckled a little bit. I knew it was not great. I knew I had remembered it being way funnier. I was young and dumb and probably intoxicated. I'm really sorry. I didn't I remember Dave Matthews being hilarious. I remember that sheep scene being hilarious. I remember it being like way more romantic. It was terrible. Okay? Now, it is 7:16 p.m.
Yeah.
Do you want to just go to the facts?
No. I have more anger to spill about this film.
Oh
I
my
have vitriol
God.
that I have to get out. Again,
Hurry up.
in a way that feels so lazy. When they're leaving that, she takes a call about her children. She's standing outside the car that is supposed to take her away. Again, I know it needs to happen for the movie, which is a really terrible reason for like a major crux of this movie happening. That she feels a need to take that phone call in front of Brooklyn Decker about her children so that she has to assume, oh, you have kids. All right. You know what? You're right. We will get to that. Oh, I forgot about the Pizza Hut product placement because there has to be a Pizza Hut montage, which happens in another Adam Sandler produced movie, The Benchwarmers, which I kind of like The Benchwarmers, but it's also like, isn't Pizza Hut great? And I'm like, it's not, but I guess it helped you save money on the movie, but cool.
Yeah. I had something to say. What was the last thing you said before the Pizza Hut?
Her taking the phone call
Oh,
right outside of the car.
yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ, Dylan, what was it? Taking the phone call, something. I don't know, it'll come back to me.
Another question. How would he have airline tickets in these people's fake names? He couldn't. He wouldn't. That wouldn't happen.
That is
Maybe that's a
true.
thing that works in, the 1960s version of this. It doesn't work in the post 9/11 world.
Yeah, no, you're right. Absolutely. That's a terrorist attack.
Why is his ex-wife going with him and his kids and his new girlfriend to Hawaii? There's no reason for it.
I guess he's trying to be like, look, we can all be like a big happy family.
Also, it's like again, maybe it said it somewhere. You tell me if it did, that they went on a bunch of dates and there's a major passage of time in between these things. But it's like the third time that Brooklyn Decker and Adam Sandler are together and they're like, okay, let's get married. Like, what?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was gonna say. They had this like Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston have this like epiphany where they realize they're in love with each other. And they have a great time hanging out. It's wonderful, blah blah blah. And then he is like, they say goodnight, and he decides he's gonna go back and talk to her. And then he gets stuck in the lobby because Brooklyn Decker comes in. And then out from the elevator comes Jennifer Aniston because she was also coming to see him. And Brooklyn Decker, I guess, had this idea that they should just get married. And then Adam Sandler calls Jennifer Aniston later, and it's like, do you think I should get married? Like, weren't you both? Isn't it so obvious that you were about to go see her and she was coming to see you?
They're like
Like,
just about to kiss before that moment. Yes.
yeah. And then Brooklyn's like, we should get married. And he's like, Jennifer, do you think I should marry her? Like, is that crazy for me? And it's like, what? What?
Adam Sandler literally says, the only way I can be happy is if I'm with you. And as far as I know, that's the second time they've met each other. Second time.
Yeah. Well, you're supposed to buy into this whole like I met my soulmate, it's different this time when you know thing.
I guess. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else that I specifically have to hate on. I will give this movie credit for one moment. For one moment that made me feel. I felt something, Gab. The moment where he's teaching the son how to swim. And the son gets to the point where he can swim without his floaties and he makes it to the end of the pool. Actually, a nice moment. 30 nice seconds out of how long was that movie? 7 hours? 8?
Something like that.
Netflix will lie to you and tell you it's 90 minutes, but it's not. It sucks out a part of your soul for 8 hours.
It was definitely an hour and like 50 something. I hear you. I will take these into careful consideration. I appreciate the feedback. I do remember this movie being much funnier. Now, couple of other things. What did you think? What is that actor who played the cousin, Eddie?
Nick Swartzen. He's
Do
a
you think
stand-up
he's funny?
comedian. He does a lot of like Happy Madison type stuff. He can be in small doses. This
Yeah,
was
he
too big a
wasn't funny
dose.
in this.
No.
Yeah.
The movie's not doing him any favors though, because I imagine they got on set and they went, Nick, you got to come to Hawaii. Be funny.
Yeah.
Although I think the scene, the plastic surgery party scene, I think that's his house that they filmed it at because they made this movie, I'm guessing, for $3 and just
Oh,
kept
Adam
whatever
Sandler's
money.
house?
No, that's Nick Swardsen's house, I believe. That's what I had read.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And then who's the guy that played did you laugh at the plastic surgeon?
No,
The plastic surgery guy when he drank and the water came out of his
which
mouth?
he's also a comedian. He was on SNL. Kevin Nealon, who
Kevin Nealon, yeah.
is funny, but
Yeah.
like when the joke is just look at his mangled face, it's not that. It's funny for a second. Like maybe the first time that he tries to do the laugh and it just comes out. I was like, oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
But like, it really keeps going back to that well, like it's a fucking home run out of the park.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm near the end of my vitriol. I'm running out of vitriol. That's good.
Okay, okay.
I feel like I'm really processing my emotions of hate here.
Yeah. I'm here for it.
Dave Matthews says he's the inventor of the iPod, blah, blah, blah. How did he really make his money? Because obviously he didn't invent the iPod. He sued a baseball team for getting hit by a foul ball. Gab, do you know why that's extremely dumb?
Because you can't do that.
The moment you buy a ticket, and I don't know if they do this now with the ones you print online, but on the back of any actual baseball ticket is a bunch of fine print about if you get hit in the fucking face by one of these foul balls, sorry, you assume that risk when you enter the ballpark. I don't know. It just felt, again, what was the first thought somebody had? How could he make money? He got hit by a baseball.
Yeah.
No what? Gav, we've given much more effort right now than the people who made this movie did, and we didn't even get to go to goddamn Hawaii.
No, but I do feel like Hawaii is a honeymoon option. You know?
Well, that's
I
nice.
watched
I'm
that
happy
movie.
for you.
It did its job. I was like, oh, I get it. But you know what? I'll say this still. For those of us that live on the East Coast, to have to fly all the way to LA and then again to Hawaii, I don't know, maybe not, you know?
Can I read you my last note that I took during this movie?
I don't suppose I have much other option, so
You do
please.
not.
Okay.
Sweet mercy of end credits. That's the last thing I wrote.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, what's your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
Honestly, probably The Wedding Singer. Love that movie. 50 First
Not
Dates is
that.
great.
Mhm.
I enjoy Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison. I don't think those are as good of movies. The Waterboy I really like. I can even enjoy
I have-
Little Nicky.
First of all, I hate Little Nicky.
which also is very product placement-y because one of the first things I'm
Yeah.
thinking of is Popeye's chicken is the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what though. I have a favorite. I have a favorite Adam Sandler movie that I think you're gonna think is bullshit.
Go on.
Mr. Deeds.
Mr. Deeds is fun.
Oh, okay, good.
It's pleasant enough.
Yeah.
Also definitely has product placement in it with like the Hawaiian Punch water
Yeah,
fountain.
yeah.
He's gonna make his money.
Listen, he needs to make his money. He's got a couple of kids. Corey made me watch this thing the other night of him singing a song about Chris Farley. Have you seen this?
I don't think so.
It was lovely. It's very sad that his friend died. He's had
But
a
it's
rough
nice. He
life,
put
Dylan.
effort into something.
Yeah, he wrote a whole song about him. He also
Yeah.
sang a song about his wife, but I'll tell you what, he sang it to the tune of I Want to Grow Old with You, and the chorus was I Want to Grow Old with You, and I was like, this is lazy.
Well, surprisingly, it seems like Sandler can get a little lazy.
Yeah. Also, how do you feel about the way he dresses?
Good for him. If I was that rich, I would dress however the fuck I want all the time. I pretty much do now, but like if I were him, I would do that, sure.
Yeah. All right.
That's the thing. I'm like, you're rich already, Sandler. You don't have to make a movie every year. You don't have to you could make one movie every 10 years and do whatever you want. I just want you to try.
How do you feel about Billy Madison too?
You mean Happy Gilmore too?
Sorry, correct.
My brain says it's going to be terrible. I think I'm only excited because of the guy who plays Shooter McGavin, Christopher McDonald, returning. Because I think he's really good. He seems to try in things.
Can I tell you something?
Sure.
I've never seen Happy Gilmore.
Well, another reason that a second Happy Gilmore won't be good because Carl Weathers is dead.
Oh, he was in it?
Yes. And I mean, spoiler alert for a 30-year-old movie that you've never seen. He dies in that movie, but I feel like they could have found a way to bring back like Chubbs' ghost for the movie and it still would have been funny. But yeah. R.I.P. Carl Weathers. You always tried.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm sorry. I'm going to be honest still. I just wanted to pick a movie that was going to be like a breezy, easy watch. It's Thanksgiving week. Like I'm not trying to watch the fucking, the something serious. I don't know. I didn't want to pick something that was going to be sad. I didn't want to pick something that was going to be I was just trying. Okay? I just picked something easy. I thought, "Oh, this was like kind of funny and bullshit." And you know what? It was bullshit all right, but it wasn't funny. And so I'm sorry. You got to let me try again.
You owe me that apology. You owe me more apologies, quite frankly. This was a movie that made me wish I drank Gab.
Well, Dylan, I originally wanted to watch Up, but I was like, no, because then we'll all just want to kill ourselves.
Same effect, but for different reasons.
I thought this was going to be like a pleasant little watch.
It wanted to be, but it just didn't even try to be. That is what this movie wants to be. It wants to be a much lower effort 50 First Dates or Wedding Singer, and it's so lazy.
How do you feel about Drew Barrymore? You a Drew Barrymore fan?
I don't love Drew Barrymore, but like she has her things that I really like her in.
I can't get behind Drew Barrymore in The Wedding Singer. I like 50 First Dates.
So why not in The Wedding Singer, but yes in 50 First Dates? And how do you feel about Charlie's Angels?
I love Charlie's Angels. First of all, I had it on DVD.
Such a movie of its time, but I love it.
So great. I loved it. I don't know. Drew Barrymore is just like kind of dumb in The Wedding Singer. Like just dumb in a way that in 50 First Dates, I guess maybe there's like a plot line for, you know what I mean?
The major head injury makes it okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's just like in 50 First Dates, she's like, oh, I don't want to be Julia Gulia. Oh, he's mean to me. And it's like, then fucking leave him. I don't understand why you're doing this. He's a dickhead.
Oh, I wish we had watched that movie. That's such a good movie.
So make it next week's pick.
I honestly, that was totally my idea coming into this, but it's a good movie. I don't need to tell you it's a good movie. People know it's a good movie. I think I need a break from Adam Sandler is what happened here.
Okay, fine. Can we just get to the facts, please?
Let's get to the facts, please.
I want the truth!
Face the facts, dukes.
Facts have no place with an organized religion.
IMDb, it has a 6.4 on the Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter, 19% with an average rating of 3.9 out of 10, 26 fresh reviews, 111 rotten. an audience score of 59% with an average score of 3.5 out of 5. It had a budget of $80 million. It grossed $215 million. And sadly, Gab, you and I each contributed to that. The critics' consensus, just go with it, may be slightly better than some entries in the recently dire rom-com genre, but that's far from a recommendation. Roger Ebert gave it 1 star and said the people in this movie are dumber than a box of Tinker Toys.
Oh.
Tinker Toys, that's a very old school toy reference.
Yeah.
I guess Roger Ebert wasn't hip on the kids' toys of 2011.
Yeah, apparently not.
Keith Phipps from AV Club, mostly just go with it all for scenes of Aniston and Sandler deceiving Decker, whose inability to see through fabrications that wouldn't fool a canny toddler suggests she might be suffering from some kind of undiagnosed neurological disease.
Amazing.
Betsy Sharkey from the LA Times, if you're a Sandler film buff, the comedy is classic Sandler and will probably satisfy. Still, the best thing about the movie remains Aniston. She is reason enough to just go with it. Fuck you, Betsy.
Okay.
Brian Tallarico, if you have a masochistic desire to see unlikable morons on a vacation you probably can't afford, check out one of the worst movies in a long time.
It should, first of all, the fact that he did not change his name to Brian Spiderico is offensive. He's a movie critic.
I love that Spiderico is what will stick with you for Rocky. Oh my God.
Well, because before Spiderico, the only one I knew was Cheddarico.
Peter Travers from Rolling Stone, don't even think of going with it. It's the perfect Valentine's date night movie, but only with someone you hate.
Aww.
Which, if I hate someone, I'm not going to go to the movie with them. But I see his
especially
point.
not a movie that never ends.
Yes. That movie was 12 hours long, Gav. I think I'm still watching it. I think I'm going to wake up and it's still going to be on the TV. And I'm just going to be caught in a cycle of just going with it. And I needed to stop.
Yeah. Who's the guy that has to push the boulder up the hill every day?
Sisyphus. My Sisyphusian task is watching this movie every day until I die.
Yep.
And then I shall sweetly be released from this mortal coil of just going with it. Letterboxd reviews. Lucas said, I know everyone hates this, but I'll fight them. Lucas, come on, bitch, fight me. Brian Espatia. A movie about realizing that you're secretly in love with Jennifer Aniston. Very relatable. Painkiller Jaime. What the hell did Adam Sandler have on Nicole Kidman to blackmail her into doing this shit? A free vacation to Hawaii. That's what he had. And Ryan Daniel. If you've ever wanted to see Dave Matthews pick up a coconut with his ass cheeks, this is the movie for you. Otherwise, I don't recommend it. And you know what? Yes, Ryan, I frankly very much agree with that.
That's fair.
That may have been the only time where I actually laughed. That and when the two of them do find spoiler for a movie that you should not watch, when the two of them do kiss at the end and it cuts to Dave Matthews, who just makes a face of like he's disgusted by their kiss, and I appreciated it. Dave Matthews, you tried.
At that moment, Corey goes, what? So he's just super gay now?
The movie, again, that was one line that I smiled at also. Nicole Kidman says he's gay, and I think it's Adam Sandler goes, last night with the ass grab of the coconut. A little bit of a red flag. Again, this was the height of comedy of this film.
Okay.
The movie was directed by Dennis Dugan, who also directed Jack and Jill, Grown Ups 1 and 2, Big Daddy, and Happy Gilmore.
Okay, Jack and Jill. I will never forget being in college right around this time, taking the train from Lexington Avenue and 63rd Street, having to go down like 2 enormous flights of stairs to get to my train platform, and seeing posters for Jack and Jill everywhere and thinking to myself, Adam Sandler is that broke?
This is the peak of Sandler not trying. Like Jack and Jill, this era, this like 5-year span was when he was like maxed out on I don't give a shit.
But like, why?
Because he could phone it in and make this movie profited. This movie was a success.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took us a while to realize he was screwing us.
Yeah.
The screenplay is adapted from the play Cactus Flower and written by Alan Loeb and Timothy Dowling, who also wrote Pixels, Here Comes the Boom, Role Models, and This Means War. Stars Adam Sandler, you may know from Uncut Gems, The Wedding Singer, and The Waterboy. I feel like people would want me to say Punch Drunk Love also, but I gotta be honest, I watched Punch Drunk Love recently because it's supposed to be one of his good movies, and you know what? I hated the shit out of it.
I've never seen it.
You're good. Don't. I'm very anti-Sandler right now, man. Okay. Jennifer Aniston, who you may know from Friends, Office Space, and We're the Millers. Brooklyn Decker, who you may know from Grace and Frankie, Battleship, and What to Expect When You're Expecting. Nicole Kidman, who you may know from Aquaman, Moulin Rouge, and Big Little Lies. Also starring Nick Swardson, Bailey Madison, Griffin Gluck, Dave Matthews, Kevin Nealon, Rachel Dratch, and more people. I'm putting as much effort as they did. The movie was nominated for Razzies for Worst Supporting Actor for Nick Swardson, Worst Supporting Actress for Nicole Kidman, Worst Director for Dennis Dugan, Worst Screen Couple for Adam Sandler with either Brooklyn Decker or Jennifer Aniston, and Worst Actor for Sandler. I've only got a very limited amount of fun facts because, again, even the IMDb trivia section doesn't care.
Okay.
When Adam Sandler and family go across the bridge, the family that tells them that the bridge is only made for one person, those two children are Sandler's kids, and the wife is Adam Sandler's sister-in-law.
Awesome.
Despite the negative critical reception of the film, Nicole Kidman said that she enjoyed being part of the project, mainly because although she is Australian, she got to work in her birthplace of Hawaii, which she left when she was 4, and because her parents from Australia were able to spend time with her and her children while she was working.
There we go.
There you go. And lastly, we already said Adam Sandler's real life wife is at the beginning his shitty almost wife.
You know, it was better than. Was it better than Duplex?
I still feel like Duplex wasn't that funny, but they tried. No.
Was it better than the cartoon school movie?
Recess School's Out? You're absolutely not going to get me to agree to that, Gab, because I love that movie. And quite frankly, again, people tried.
Okay. Was it better than...
The Room is better than this because you know what? They tried. They were bad, but they tried.
I forgot we did The Room. Yeah.
They were awful, but they tried.
All right. Whatever. Listen, I'm glad we got to spend a couple of hours together. You know?
I'm glad that I got to cleanse myself of the hate I feel for this movie. But I'm also angry that you subjected me to this movie.
I saw it on Netflix and I was like, okay, fine, this one. You know, you put me into a position when you said we were recording on Monday instead of Wednesday. I had to choose.
Gab, I would have rather you told me, fuck you, we're not recording. Let's do Wednesday. Like, oh God. Okay. Should we get to our verdicts? Which, who knows where this could go?
Yeah, let's get to. Well, Sally has a verdict she'd like to share, and that is that she flicks her own asshole and did not.
So does this movie.
Okay, fine. Verdicts.
Do or do not. There is no try.
The guilty will be punished.
Sentence is death.
Gab, this was your movie. Would you like to go first so we can maintain the suspense of what I thought?
Yeah, this movie was a piece of shit. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I really wanted to watch Up, but I thought maybe it was a bad idea. Next time I know better.
It just goes to show that sometimes what seems like a good idea is a worse idea than what you thought was a bad idea. This is horrendous. This is a movie to die before you watch. Thanks for listening, fuckers. Like,
what does Cactus Flower get on IMDb and shit?
I don't know, but again, I would assume that they tried when they made that, if that's what you're asking. So let's look.
Do you think this movie is better than Jack and Jill?
I've only seen clips of Jack and Jill because I could tell well enough what I would be walking into there, and if you force me to watch Jack and Jill, Gab, I will never forgive you.
No.
Cactus Flower has a 7.2 on IMDb. Which obviously it's somewhat different. A dentist pretends to be married to avoid commitment, but when he falls for his girlfriend and proposes, he must recruit his lovelorn nurse to pose as his wife.
Yeah, so it's like basically the same thing.
Yeah, but with actual actors who probably tried.
Yeah. Listen, Adam Sandler is an American icon.
Adam Sandler may have been asleep during most of this movie. He sleptwalked his way through it. I wrote, why does he look unhappy even at his wedding?
Yeah.
The man gave zero effort. I don't know if he was like addicted to something and was like, I need cash real fast. Like, I don't know what happened there.
Why do you think they used the last name Maccabee?
I don't know. He thought it would be funny enough to get a giggle out of a couple of Jews who went to see this movie. And you know what? As one of the Jews who went to see this movie, it didn't make me laugh then, and it didn't make me laugh now. And
yeah,
quite frankly, I wish my TV were run by oil, and I wish that oil had burnt out.
Listen, I'm sorry. I don't know. Um,
I
we
forgive
all make
you,
mistakes.
but don't do
Thank
it
you.
again.
Okay, I won't. I
So help
won't.
me God, if Just Go With It is your pick for your next movie on Where You Die, I'm ending this whole thing.
No, 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 no. Listen, I don't know what to say to you. I'm sorry. I really I didn't think it was that bad, but I hear you.
God, there's a part of me that will live perpetually in fear that I'm going to wake up and still be watching Just Go With It. I'll be back to the scene at the house with the plastic surgery people, and it'll start all over again.
Oh God. All right. Well,
What are the things we say at the end, Gab?
I guess you can write us a movie. No. You can write us
If
an
you want to write
email.
us a screenplay,
You can write us an email at movies2watchbeforeyoudie@gmail.com. You can send us a voice note at anchor.fm/movies to watch. In the link tree below, you will find our podcasting friends from the Hall of Pods network. There is also a link to my Venmo. You can send me money. You can buy our merch, and you can, I don't know, it's a free country. You can do whatever you want.
again, you have the freedom to. I recommend you don't watch this movie, but you have freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, do whatever you want.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I was trying to think, what's the laziest way to end this? And I feel like I'm just going to cut this off mid.
$600 for the day, plus overtime if we go over 8 hours. I'll do my own hair and makeup, and I want you to pay for the 6-week intensive acting camp that my mom can't afford.
$50 for the day and a 2-week acting class at the YMCA nearest you.
$500 and a 4-week acting class.
$300 and a 3-week class.
Done.
I would have done it for $500.
I would have done it for the experience.